So welcome back. So now the next lesson we're going to talk about is innovation in Capella. Okay, so we're going to walk through some ideas and concepts around innovation. Okay, what is innovation? Innovation in its modern meaning is a new idea, creative thoughts, new imaginations in the form of a device or method. Innovation is often viewed as the application of a better solution that meet new market requirements, unarticulated needs, or existing market needs. That's what innovation is. It's essentially taking an idea and developing an idea, a product or solution around solving that idea. There are many companies that are great at innovation, and they have a track record. Most companies do not just pop up as being an innovative company. It actually is not just a matter of coming up with a great idea. It's basically how they develop and nurture ideas and basically bring them to the forefront. And that's why many companies that are great at innovation show up on the list every single year. Companies like Apple and Alphabet and Amazon, they are great and they're consistent at innovating. And understanding how companies innovate is what brings that consistency. A simple tool that's used to talk about innovation is the innovation matrix. The innovation matrix basically breaks innovation up into 4 separate areas: basic research, and those 4 separate areas all have essentially a different purpose that help you understand the problem and help you develop the technology and the solution to the problem. First, there's basic research that basically helps you. It brings in innovations with new, may require new skills to basically be invented. There may be no immediate need from basically tackling things like basic research, but it has to be done, and it helps understand essentially the domain in its work. Now, it's not well defined a lot of times, and it's not a well defined problem, but it's basically just research that helps you lay the foundation for discovery. Next, you may come through with something called disruptive innovation. It's where you may start with a small market for something that is now becoming pretty well defined, and it's built upon that basic research, where you can actually go and be disruptive and develop a product and put it into the marketplace. And that happens a lot of times when the problem isn't like well defined. Next is breakthrough innovation. Breakthrough is basically where the research is finally paid off, and now you're coming up with a well-defined problem. However, the domain may not be well-defined. You may have a new product in a space where no one's really been before, as far as of delivering that, and so you may have a breakthrough of technology or a product. But then finally, the most desirable location, the sustaining innovation, where you can basically continually improve your product and develop something new and interesting for your customer on a regular and consistent basis. And basically, that sustaining innovation, it provides stability to your organization, so that you can help handle the costs and risks of these other more disruptive and basic research. So you want that sustaining innovation to basically fuel your whole innovation process. Capella is a tool and a method that can help you achieve that sustaining innovation. Capella can help you identify where an idea is essentially on the matrix, and it can help you determine whether the problem is well understood, and it can also help locate where in the domain it's not well understood. With Capella, you can basically go from the idea of basic research, and it can help you bring you from the costs of discovery to basically the revenue of a breakthrough innovation. It can also reduce the risk associated with being disruptive, or to basically more of a sustaining, because it helps you define the problem well. It can take you from being discovery to basically more disruptive, and it can do that by bringing you revenue sooner. And it also can take you from the excitement of just being disruptive into basically the stability of sustaining innovation. So now Capella does that by basically by employing something called The Arcadia method. So Capella is based on a method called Arcadia. Arcadia stands for, and most people don't know that, but it stands for Architecture, Analysis, Design, Integrated Approach. Arcadia is a method that helps you basically move through this innovation matrix and helps you address it. First of all, it helps you define the problem so you can understand what the problem is and define what part of the problem you're going to address. That's the thing, is a lot of times something may be really, you may discover something that's just wide open that you could go and address, such as maybe a concussion detection system or something like that. But it's so big, where do you focus first? So that's where understanding the problem really helps you do that. And the example we're going to be working with is a solar charger. So we're going to be talking about, well, how do you look at what is the problem you're trying to solve? Why do I even need something that charges a device with solar power? And so that helps. You have to understand the problem first so you can actually go and start working on the solution. Now, the next part is actually going and how do I address that? So how do I move from basically the idea of of this problem that I have? How do I actually go and start building something that would address and deliver a solution to that problem? So what comes with a method? Basically, a method guides you through a set of activities. It uses terms that are well defined for each activity, uses a set of graphics that compose the language that it conveys the information, and it promotes better communications through that understanding that you have with it. Examples of similar methods and languages that you may think of is just navigating and driving. As you go through the activities of navigating and driving a car, there are a set of known traffic signs and signals. You have expectations of the signs you see in towns and on highways. It helps you drive a vehicle better because there's a known expectation of what you're going to encounter when you go down a highway. Another one is shopping in a grocery store. There's expectations of signage and guidance. And that basically helps make easy the method of basically going shopping or driving. And in the same way, this methodology helps you develop a product because it helps you guide you through various steps, and it does it in a way that you have expectations of what's going to happen and how to basically format your thoughts and how to communicate the problems. In essence, a method basically streamlines communications. It takes the idea of the innovator and puts it in a way that other people can understand it. That might be in your marketing and sales organization, in your electronics and software organization, in your mechanical design organization. It helps you communicate in kind of a common language, and that's what's really helpful about it. And basically, the ideas of the innovator then becomes the shared ideas of all because you're using this common way of communicating. Arcadia does this through a technique called system modeling. So basically, ideas are modeled in a notation that all the teams learn to essentially understand. Now, there's a simple analogy of this, is that it's kind of like a martial arts analogy, is that martial arts have things called forms that basically people would learn and use to basically how to move their body. And then Capella is basically a weapon that's compatible with that form. It's a tool that really helps you enhance that thing that you would have done before with basic methodical approach. Well, now it's a tool that brings that form to life with drawings and pictures, and basically it helps you facilitate doing the good practice of executing a design. And then basically with that proper training of using the tool and the method, you can really become an artist at your craft, or a skilled ninja, so to speak. So Capella brings more discipline and form to the transition to design. It takes ideas and concepts that might be in notebooks, napkin pads, maybe put into Google Docs type tools, and helps you formulate that into a nice, neat package that you can then figure out how to communicate to code development activities, or even start code development activities. It can help you link down to circuit designs and how you might design a product with a circuit design. It may actually even help you bring it to 3D CAD and printing. So just kind of summary then, this section is the innovation matrix is used to help understand where a company may be with a product. The matrix has two dimensions, the problem and the domain. The Capella is a tool that supports supports a company's innovation process. Capella supports a process that's called Arcadia that implements that process, and the model enhances the understanding of the problem and the domain. The model helps the idea be shared with other people so that you can promote communications and develop the ideas and leverage their capabilities to actually bring a product to life. So thank you. That concludes this section. Look forward to seeing the next section. Thank you.